I believe one time you said strategy without structure is just a wish. So can you explain that? Because a lot of people have put together their business strategy quarterly or at the beginning of the year. But talk about the structure part of that, and even for your personal routine, like how disciplined are you in making sure that the strategy goes from idea to ideation?
Man, great question again. So I think it's fluid. I think everybody in the room that has a business realizes there's a lot of fluidity in business. Everything you think is going to happen is probably going to happen differently. So most businesses controlled chaos. And strategy is really important, and planning is really important, and scale is really important. But execution is better. I think too many people make really well-laid plans and then are kind of like deer in the headlights when their plan doesn't work out. I love that Mike Tyson quote, right? Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face. Running a business is getting hit in the face every day. So I think if you're running a business, it's chaos. You have to execute every day. But eventually you get to a point where if you're the one executing on everything, and I went through this, I used to, one of the things I used to say is, I'm the best salesman in my company, and I'm the best this in my company. Then one day I realized, if I'm the best me in my company, how am I ever going to grow? Who's ever going to buy this business? So eventually you have to get to a point where you shift from being the best doer to being the best enabler. And if you want to build a $5 million business, $10 million business, you go out there and be the best everything in your company. You want to build a $100 million business, you better be a great leader and a great enabler, because your number one job becomes making others successful.
Can you just go a little bit into that? Because I feel like enabler has a bad connotation to it.
Yeah, you're right. That was a bad word.
But I mean, I guess it can be good too, right? As far as like, just nurturing people on their journey to kind of oversee it.
Somewhere along the way, I realized I've got to amplify me, right? Like I have to leverage and make more of the things that I'm not good at. And, it gets easier in some ways where you get bigger. The dynamicism and the energy becomes harder the bigger you get. I mean, my last company at the end, we had, 1,200 employees. And so I get in the elevator and I'd be like, does this person work for me? Should I know who they are? And that was odd for me because in my company, I knew everybody. Like we were like, whoa, one team, go. But when you're starting out, you can't afford to hire somebody with 5 years of experience in marketing. So instead of hiring for experience, you hire for aptitude. And you've got to look at those people and say, what are they missing to make them great? How can I teach, lead, give them the experience to become better at marketing than I am, or somebody who had the experience? When you have money, you hire for experience with aptitude. When you don't have money, you hire incredible aptitude and give them the experience.